Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. My name is George Wright III. I am your host, and I appreciate you spending some time with me today to get your dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I hope you're having a good day. How's your week going so far? Are you making the progress that you want to make? Are you killing it? Or do you feel like you're getting run over? We're all at different places during the week, and regardless of where you're at, I'd like to give you a few thoughts today that might help you to get back on track or to go to that next level. So I want to start with the Daily Mastermind quote of the day. The quote of the day today is by Jeremy Anderson, and it says, "There's nothing that can happen that can take your worth and your value away." There's nothing that can happen that can take your worth and your value away. I think the sooner we realize that external factors and things going on in our outer game cannot change or influence, if you don't let it, your inner game, is when you become more empowered. And so I think it's really important to understand that. I love that quote. But today what I want to talk to you about is, are you making the progress that you want to make? Not just in the week, but so far this year or in your life. Are you where you want to be? Are you tracking that? Do you know where you want to be? Do you have your vision and your clarity set? I will every once in a while go back to some of the key lessons that I've learned from mentors in my life, like Robert Stuberg. And one of the ways that he has always talked about being able to navigate through life, because let's be honest, we're here in life and no one's given us a handbook. Nobody has told us what to do or how to do it. We just got to find our own way. And sometimes it helps to have different strategies or different waypoints or milestones that you can use to get back on track or navigate through life. It's a way for you to focus your thinking or to get yourself going in the right direction. And he has a certain strategy and a teaching, a principle that he calls the PEARL Constellation. The PEARL Constellation is actually an acronym. The word PEARL is an acronym for 5 different words. An acronym, if you don't know what that is that the letters of the word PEARL, each of the letters spells out a word. And I'm going to go through that with you today, but he calls it the PEARL Constellation because he believes it's a way that you can help to navigate your life. For thousands of years, back in ancient times, sailors and travelers didn't have compasses and navigational equipment. They used to use the stars in order to navigate across the seas, and these constellations would give them direction. You've heard of probably the idea of the North Star. This PEARL Constellation is something I think it might be able to help you. I'm going to go through it here real quick, and just to let you know right off the bat, the word PEARL, P-E-A-R-L, stands for your philosophy. The P stands for philosophy. The E stands for your emotions. The A stands for your activity. The R stands for your results. And the L is about your lifestyle. Now, these are waypoints or milestones that you can use to find out if you are on track or you're not on track. These are the 5 areas. So these 5 areas, he's always told me, are what really sum up the experience of life. Your philosophy and emotions, activity and results, and lifestyle really sum up the things that we're going to experience in life. And so these 5 areas are the ones that you can stop every once in a while and just ask yourself some key questions in these 5 areas. And I'm going to take you through a couple questions and then we'll get into a little depth with it. The first question is on your philosophy is, what do I believe about myself or about life that isn't true? What's my philosophy? And you got to ask yourself, what do I believe about myself or life that isn't true? Number 2, your emotions. What am I feeling that I don't want to feel? What am I feeling that I don't want to feel? And the reason you're asking yourself these questions is you want to find out where you are and are you on track with where you want to be. The third is your activity, and you can ask yourself the question, what am I doing that I don't want to do? What are you doing right now with your activity that you don't want to be doing? And number 4, your results. What am I getting or not getting in my life compared to what I want to get? You're asking yourself these questions in this way in order to stimulate ways that you can grow and change. And then the 5th question is your lifestyle. How am I living my life on a daily basis compared to how I want to be living? So we don't want to these questions are designed not just to look for the positive, but also to question what you're doing and where you're at. And I would recommend, and Robert has always recommended, to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on these 5 different areas. And so let's break them down just a little bit, because if you're not making the progress that you want to be able to make in life and that you're capable of making, The problem is probably in one of these key areas. Let me say that again. If you're not making the progress that you'd like to make or you're capable of making, the problem probably exists in one of these 5 areas. So let's break them down for you for a second. The first one is your philosophy. Now, your philosophy is how you think. And we know that your thoughts control your life, but they don't control everything. Your thoughts don't control everything. So your philosophy is like that, the way you set the sail on a boat. For those of you that have sailed or you know anything about sailing, it doesn't matter what direction the wind is going. If it matters the direction you set your sail, because you can go in any direction in a sailboat just by adjusting your sail. And so it's important for you to have the right philosophy, because then no matter what's happening outside, no matter what kind of chaos and thing is going on, you can direct your life. You can control the direction of your life just by the set of your sail, and this is your philosophy. So what is it? How do you think? What do you think about yourself? It's like the quote we said earlier today. There's nothing that happens outside that can take away your worth or value. You need to have a strong philosophy. The second in this PEARL Constellation is the letter E, and that's emotions. This is how you feel. How you feel is so important, because ultimately at the end of the day, we may think we're chasing things or opportunities or experiences, but really all of those things lead to the emotions that we want to experience in life. What do you want to experience for your emotions? And in order to change the way you feel long term, and remember, these feelings are what embed the changes in your life, you have to look at your values. And we'll talk about this another time, but you have to look at things like, do you need certainty in your life? Uncertainty? Do you need significance, connection, love, growth, contribution? What do you value in your life? And there are ways that you can set the structure on these values so that you can achieve the feelings and emotions you want at any given time. In other words, if you feel like you need certainty, and I will tell you right now that success is directly in proportion to the amount of uncertainty that you can live with, but there are ways that you can frame certainty in your life. In other words, you can tell yourself, listen, as long as I'm doing what I need to be doing, I feel like I am in control of my destiny. And so you can frame that, because then you know that your daily rituals can keep you on track regardless of what's happening. But your emotions are so important. How do you feel, and how are you structuring your values of how you feel in order to make sure that you're feeling the way you want every day? And the third letter is A, and it's activity. And this is how you work. How are you working? Are you working harder on yourself than anyone else? Are you working hard, or are you working smart? We always go back to your activity and we say, are you doing the activities that you need to and want to and should be doing to get towards your goal? And these are always going to relate when it comes to things I talk about or things that I've learned from my mentor, Robert Stuberg. This is always going to relate to, are you functioning inside your unique talent? Your unique talent is the things that you are passionate about and you're excellent at. Because anything outside your unique talent is not going to give you that fulfillment. It's not going to give you the true productivity and creativity that you need. And so the more often you can operate inside your unique talent, the more your activity is going to create the results that you want. And then the fourth letter is R, and that's results. Now, this is how you are measuring your progress. How are you measuring your progress? Because here's the deal. At the end of the day, life demands measurable progress in reasonable time. I've heard that over and over from Robert, as well as great authors and thought leaders. Life is going to demand progress in reasonable time. So you have to stop and you have to examine your results. If Brendon Burchard talks about this a lot as well, if you are not daily measuring what you want to progress in your life, then you're not going to see changes. Do you want to have different emotions? Do you want to see more money and wealth in your life? Do you want to have better relationships? What is your wealth number? What is your health numbers? What are your sales numbers if you're a salesperson? You have to be achieving in order to make progress in these areas, but you define the terms of what that achievement is. You define the results you're getting. And if you're getting results in areas that are not important to you, then you're focused on the wrong things. And so this is a time for you to check that and figure out where you need to be. Now, it's very important that I mentioned two things. Number one, what you monitor, what you track will grow. And so it's very important that you track your progress. But more importantly, it's not about achieving as much as becoming. In other words, what am I getting is different than who am I becoming? And you have to learn to be able to feel content with progress and results in your growth as much as you do those tangible items, because you're going to be more fulfilled, you're going to be happier, and you're going to have more success in all areas of your life if you feel that you're growing is a key to success. And then the last letter in this PEARL constellation, the letter L, is lifestyle. And I love this because so many of us think about lifestyle being something you're going to eventually have. You know, you've heard those terms, work hard today so that tomorrow you can have what most people don't have, right? Or work really hard most of your life and eventually you'll be able to retire and have what you want. But I disagree with that 100%, because what I've learned from my own personal experience is that in order to have a great life, you have to enjoy life while you're living it. And it's a dichotomy in a way that it's hard to say, I'm going to work hard for an end result, but I'm going to be happy with what I've got. Ed Milet talks about this and calls it blissful dissatisfaction. The highest achievers are never completely satisfied with where they're at, but they're happy with where they're at. They're fulfilled with where they're at. They're enjoying where they're at, but they're blissfully dissatisfied. In other words, as long as you're making progress on your goal in life, you can be happy with your progress and reaching for more, striving for more. A great life is living it. Life is meant to be lived, and if you don't live and enjoy and take advantage of those little moments in life, then you're letting life pass you by. And so there's absolutely many ways that you can learn to happily achieve instead of trying to achieve happiness. Happily achieving is far better than achieving happiness. And so that's my message for you today. The bottom line is, if you are not where you want to be, I would highly recommend you stop and analyze these 5 core areas of your life: the philosophy, the emotions, the activities, the results, and the lifestyle. And if you are doing well in life, then I also recommend you look at these, because these are key areas you can use to level up and go to the next level. I'm really looking forward to hearing some feedback from you, so please hit me up on the Daily Mastermind. You go to dailymastermind.com. You can go to the Daily Mastermind on Instagram or Facebook. DM me, message me. Tell me what you're working on, what you're struggling with. I'd love to be able to give you some help, some insight, maybe even send you to some good resources. That's what I'm here for. That's why I do this. And at the end of the day, I know it's never too late to start living the life you were meant to live, and you have great things ahead of you. And just remember this: your best days ahead of you. They're not behind you. So stop looking back, keep looking forward. And I hope that this is a message that might be able to inspire and motivate you to do some extra things this week to work on you. Anyway, that's my message for today. My name is George Wright III, and this has been the Daily Mastermind. Have an amazing day.